Good morning, everybody. It is 9:34. Welcome back to CW Iowa Live. Lou and Jackie here, and our friends at Stivers Ford Lincoln downright proud to salute great organizations. And actually, we have a couple organizations we're going to be saluting right now because there is something very important, especially with the temperatures that we've had in central Iowa over the past couple of days, Jackie, we need to pay attention to.
That's right. We've been talking about the heat, and we want to make sure everyone's staying safe, not only you as humans, but also our four-legged friends and pets as well. So we have Nola Agner here from Polk County Health Department, and of course Stephanie Filer from the ARL. Thank you guys for being here this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Today, June 6th.
Nope, June 8th.
June 8th.
Yes.
June 8th. June 6th is today, but June 8th
is Iowa Heat
is
Awareness
a special day. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now explain what Iowa Heat Awareness Day is all about.
So Iowa Heat Awareness Day is just a day to recognize that heat is deadly. We know that any extreme heat kills more people than any natural disaster. So it kills more than tornadoes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
And why is that? Why does that happen?
Because a lot of times we are not, we're not thinking that extreme heat can be deadly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we aren't staying hydrated enough. We're not getting enough time in air conditioning. We're not getting enough time in shade. And so sometimes if we're pushing ourselves hard, we're exercising, we're working out in the garden, and we're not staying hydrated, our body can have heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and sometimes those can lead to death.
Wow. What are some symptoms? I mean, obviously, besides just being hot on a hot summer day, what are some things that are like, okay, these are warning signals?
So there's two different things. There's heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Okay.
Heat exhaustion is excessive loss of, when you're sweating, excessive loss of water and sodium. That helps your electrolytes
Now,
stay
is this somebody
healthy.
that's working outside, like construction or something?
But this can
all
be
day,
anyone. So think about if you are spending a lot of time outdoors, you're going somewhere, you're at a sporting event, you're working outside, you're exercising, you're not staying hydrated enough. You know, your body might be, when you have heat exhaustion, you're going to be pale, you're going to have excessive loss of water, you're going to be profusely sweating. And then we have heat stroke, and this is where that sweating mechanism that we have to keep ourselves cool completely shuts down. We're not able to sweat anymore. And this is where we're going to see a lot of people who have really dry, red skin, and they're going to have a really high temperature, like of 103. So if we see people that have heat stroke, this is a time that they need immediate medical attention.
Now, is this either one of these situations where somebody might actually start feeling cold when they're really overheated?
We're going to see heat exhaustion.
That is heat exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay. But when it comes to heat and things like that too, you said extreme heat. We know we had 90-degree temperatures, some close to 100 over the past couple of days. But it doesn't take those super extreme temperatures to cause some problems, especially if you have vehicles involved or pets involved. And Stephanie Filer from the Animal Rescue League of Iowa joining us right now. And this is one that every year, unfortunately, we tell stories that make you cry.
Yeah, and we've already had them this year.
No, we have not. I haven't heard it.
It blows my mind that we're still talking about this, frankly, because it's such an easy thing to do. Leave your pets at home. And a lot of times people generally are more aware of it when it's really, really hot. But really, anything over 70 degrees, you just need to leave them at home. You need to factor in humidity, where the car's at, the sun. I mean, there's a lot of things you need to figure out. So it's better just to leave them at home.
Yeah, but Stephanie, I'm going to take my dog with me in the car, and I'm going to leave the air conditioning going when I run my errand inside the store. Won't that work?
Yeah, and you know, that's okay in some senses, but people are so heightened to be looking for dogs in cars that you might come out to a broken window. We've also had people where their dogs have put their car in reverse with the car running. They've rolled down the window and jump out. So there's a lot of risks that when your dog's unattended in a vehicle, or the car, the automatic starter, if you have it without a key, could just go off. Which I know mine does a lot.
That's the point I want to make is, sure, you might have left it on, but it doesn't promise, it doesn't mean it's going to stay on.
Exactly.
And once it turns off, the temperature just climbs. We did an experiment last year, Jackie, with the thermometer out with a live camera to show you how fast the temperature rises inside of a vehicle.
Exactly. And for dogs in particular, the humidity plays a really big role, especially with how their cooling works, that if they're breathing in that recycled hot air and the humidity, that it's going to make it really, really hard for them to cool down, especially without water and without that extra cooling that they need just to function. And imagine wearing a fur coat. It makes it a lot more miserable and deadly, frankly.
And you have to think about the colors of some of the dogs that are out there too, absorbing the heat.
Exactly. And you know, we're finding that people are they're wanting to help and they're not knowing how, and so we really encourage them to call 911 in those situations. They will dispatch animal control or the police to rescue the dogs. And we actually, last session, we're trying to get lawmakers to pass a Good Samaritan bill, which would allow people to see an animal in distress to break the window and get them out.
How close is that of happening?
Well, the lawmakers didn't act on it last session, so we're hoping that they take it up as a serious issue next year and get that passed.
Yeah, but again, keeping yourself hydrated, that is one of the key factors. And you shouldn't feel embarrassed, because I know some people, oh, I don't need a drink, I'm just going to keep on going. You don't want to do that, do you?
No, your first sign, if you're thirsty, you feel thirsty, that's your first sign that you're dehydrated. So during the summer months, it's especially important to just stay hydrated. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, and avoid, especially if you're outdoors, avoid caffeinated and alcoholic beverages, because we know those can highly dehydrate you.
And I know we've been talking about our pets and loved ones, but we also want to remind about babies and children
absolutely.
who don't always know how to get out of those situations as well.
Every year, on average, we see 37 children die from being in hot cars. And the reason why this is children's bodies generate more heat due to their size than adults. And this
I didn't know that.
Yes, and another reason is, think about us. We're fully developed. We have that sweating mechanism. We're able to sweat to cool ourselves down. Children aren't fully developed yet. So that mechanism, sweating mechanism, isn't fully developed yet. So they're not able to cool themselves down by sweating like we are.
Wow. And plus, they can't do anything to fix it in some circumstances.
They can't do anything
so
to fix it.
We need to be watching out for them. So what do we do on June 8th? Are we just making sure we're aware? Do we go check on a neighbor who we know maybe is elderly and the air might not be working?
This is a really great time just to put it in perspective that we know that heat can kill. So if you know individuals who don't have air conditioning during the hot summer months, check on them. Make sure that they have access to a daytime cooling center. In Polk County, you can call 211, or you can go to the Polk County Health Department website. Around Polk County, we have over 30 daytime cooling centers. So if it's periods of extreme heat, you can go to one of those locations and sit in the air conditioning and have a cool glass of water for a couple hours, just to get that respite care to help yourself cool down. Make sure that you're staying hydrated if you're going to be outdoors, and you're just taking safety precautions to make sure you stay safe during extreme heat.
Wow.
Makes sense.
211. Just remember that number.
Yes.
So 211 for that advice.
Yep.
And then I did not realize, you just mentioned, Stephanie, today, that if you see an animal in distress, just simply calling 911 and animal control will be dispatched.
Yep, it'll go to the dispatch center, and a lot of law enforcement agencies
that.
are promoting that right now. Just call 911, they'll get dispatched right out and get it taken care of.
There you go. So
great
learned a lot
advice,
here today.
ladies. Let's make it an awareness day every day, not just on June 8th, as we're learning something great. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today. We're downright proud to salute a great message that we're giving today.
All right. It is 9:43 right now, and hopefully you can't stick around, because we are going to be right back. You're watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines.